seen me make this before. I might have made this once before on Haps. So it took me a while to get onto Haps, should I say, today. Because every time I go live, what usually appears above my screen is the connection that says, good, bad, fair, great. And it's just stuck on test. It doesn't change, doesn't do anything. So I went live and then it just timed me out and I had to turn my phone on and off for it to work again. So, little issue there, Apps. Please sort it. Okay, so apple pie day then, guys. Give me a reaction if you can all hear me. Give me a reaction if you like apple pie, because I love apple pie. And this recipe that we're going to be making is actually from there's a duo in the UK, bunch of chefs. They're called the Hairy Bikers. Now, I've made a sausage stew from their recipe before, and this is their recipe. So what you're going to need then is we're going to need 5 ounces of golden caster sugar. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. We're going to need 2 tablespoons of corn flour, 600 grams of apples, which we need to get cooking straight away. 2 tablespoons, and then for the pastry, we're going to make 400 grams of plain flour, 2 tablespoons of caster sugar, 1 lemon, the zest, 250 grams of butter cut into cubes. Hopefully I've got enough, or 10 ounces of cold butter, one free range egg, and then beaten with 2 tablespoons of cold water. Hello Melanie. It's apple pie day. And 1 free egg beaten to glaze. So shall we make a start? Let's make a start. Now, I was going to come live earlier, because you know what I made earlier? I made some it was mint leaves with lemon juice and honey tea, and it was amazing. So I will show you how to make it another day. So I'm going to spin you around. Hello, Dina. Dina's on her way to California. So let me switch the camera around so you can see what I'm doing. Fingers crossed the connection is okay. Let me know in the chat, guys. So we're doing apple pie. First of all, then, we're going to start by doing the apples. Now, I've got loads of apples. It says we need 600 grams of apples. So hopefully I've got enough. Should have enough. So we're going to peel them, core them, slice them. This is going to be the filling. So I'm probably going to need a few more of these apples. So let's get these peeled and cored. So let me know how your day's going, guys. Let me try and find my corer. There we go. Now, I actually realised it was apple pie day last week, and I looked on I have an app and it tells you what days are, what's happening. And when I saw apple pie day, I thought, yeah, I couldn't believe how quickly it had come round. So yeah, the 13th of May is apple pie day. So we're just going to decore the apples. And then, believe it or not, after this, I'm going to be cooking again. So I do need some Pyrex, Melanie. Oh no, I can't seem to get this off. What's going on with this? There we go. Push it out. I should really peel these first, shouldn't I? Because we need to get this on. Now, if you already have apple sauce, this is basically kind of what we're doing. You can just add that to the pan and then add your caster sugar. Because this is. So we just get rid of these. Keep your seeds, guys, because you can actually grow your own apple trees. Do you remember I did that last year? So you can keep them if you want to. Let's peel these as well. So give me a reaction, guys, if you like apple pie. Homemade apple pie. So this part's not too bad. It's more so the pastry. Once we get to the pastry stage, and then we'll chop these up, and then these are going to go into a saucepan. There we go. And then tomorrow, what am I doing tomorrow? Well, I don't think I'm cooking tomorrow. I haven't got anything planned to cook tomorrow, but on Saturday, the salad Saturday, which I'm really looking forward to, I'm going to be live from 1 o'clock. Don't worry if you've still got some of this left, some of the skins left. And how's your day going, guys? Hello, Monica, how are you doing? Hola. We're doing an apple pie. So I'm just peeling the apples. I might need to do some more, actually. Let's get rid of the skins. So let's get rid of this. I feel like it's dessert Saturday all over again. This was what I was going to do, actually. If I didn't do the rhubarb crumble, this was the other thing I was going to do. So it says you want 600 grams of apples. So let's just get a bowl. Can you all see this all right, guys? I don't want to move the camera too much. I need to chop these apples up. So you want 600 grams. I'm going to need some more apples. Each apple's about 83 grams. So it's about 6 apples. I mean, you don't have to use loads of apples if you don't want to, but it's more so when they soften down. I'm just going to use all 4 of them. Oops, some going into the sink. Oh, that's got some seeds in still. Let's get rid of them. You don't want seeds in them. So we're up to about 260. So okay, I think we're only going to use half. Yeah, that's more than that. It's about 350 grams. Okay, so we've got our 350 grams of chopped apples. Okay, move that out of the way because I'm going to need that. What we're going to do then is we're going to you want 600. Well, you want 600 grams, but I'm using 350 grams. You want 2 tablespoons of corn flour and a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Okay, so let's. Actually, we don't need to put that on just yet. I probably should do, but I'm just going to put them to one side. We're gonna start by. In fact, let's put them in. We will soften these down now. Get that out of the way. Okay, so there's the apples. You can see core bits. Oh, they'll be fine, Melanie. Oh, there's one there, isn't there? Yeah, I did miss that one. Let me get rid of these ones. I even used the core. There we go. Just check any of those. Oh, yeah, there's another one there. It's not a very good core, was it? Unless my technique wasn't as good. I'll just chop these a bit smaller. Okay, I think we're good now, guys. We're good. Okay, so next thing you do, it's awful when you find it in your pie. Yeah, true. That is very true, Melanie. Okay, so let me just check what I need to do for that. So it says for the filling, mix the sugar, the cinnamon, and the corn flour in a large bowl, and then we stir in the apples. Let me just check this. Oh, the apples peeled, cored, and sliced. Yeah, we've done that. Place the apple filling into a pie dish, making sure... Let me just read this a second. Mix the sugar, the cinnamon and cornflour in a large bowl, stirring the apples. Place the apple filling into the pie dish, making sure it rises. I think so. What they're wanting is if you cut the apples up really small, you can then add it to the pie. But what I like to do is add a bit of water and let it reduce down and cook over the hob. So that's what we're going to do. But we'll come back to that in a bit. Okay, how's the weather, Monica? It's not well. It's going to be. It was sunny this morning. It's gone a bit cloudy now. It started to rain, but it is a little bit cold. So, yeah, I'm going to add some cold water to this. I'm going to add some cold water from the tap to the apples. And I'm going to let these boil. Okay, and then we can add all the extras to it afterwards. So I'm going to let that boil because I don't like hard apple. I'm going to put that on the hob, and that will, if you've got sort of like an apple sauce, it kind of creates in that. Then you can add all the extras to it afterwards. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is the pastry. So for the pastry then, this is probably the most important part of the pie, the pie mixture. Okay, we need the flour. So you want 400 grams or 14 ounces of plain flour. So let's weigh this out. So 400 grams. It's quite a lot, isn't it? 400 grams. Maybe use a little bit less if you don't want too much flour. That's a lot of flour. Don't forget that I'm not using as many apples. So actually, I'm only going to use 350 grams because I'm not using as many apples. So we're going to take off a little bit. Homemade pie crust. I'm just going to take a few of this out. I'm only using 350 grams because I think 400 grams is far too much. Okay, so that's the flour. Can you see this, guys? All right, it's not too bad, is it? Hi, Alexis. Happy Apple Pie Day. Okay, so we've put our flour into the bowl. We're going to add some sugar. So you want 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. So 2 tablespoons of. Is the flag on the flour bag? Is there a flag on the flour bag? Yes, there is, Monica. Yeah, it's the British flag. The Union Jack. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. In that goes. Okay. And then what we're going to do is add in some lemon zest and the butter. So we need 250 grams of butter. Let me check what butter I've got. Might have to mix and match my butter because I don't think I've got enough. Or have I got enough? Let me just check. I might have to move you back just slightly. Hopefully you'll... So this needs to be chopped up. Preferably room temperature, but let's grab a little knife. How's everybody today? Are we all okay? I feel 10 times better than I did yesterday. Got really, really ill yesterday. Okay. Is it a lot? I have to use all of this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't have enough. Actually, I do have enough because I'm using less flour, so therefore I need less butter. I might be able to add a spoonful of margarine to this as well. But I think that's enough anyway. Don't need to add any more. Okay, we need some lemon zest. So we're going to add some lemon zest into here. Grab a lemon. It's very cold, Alexis says. It's 56 degrees. That's not too bad, Alexis. That's quite warm. That's quite mild. That's how our summer is, about 56 degrees. So we're going to add some lemon zest, okay, to this. So we're going to add it into the bowl. So just get a lemon. Okay, just drop that lemon zest into the bowl, just like that. Lovely. Okay, and then what we're going to do then is rub in the butter until the mixture resembles breadcrumbs. Then we're going to add a beaten egg and stir with a round bladed knife until it forms a dough. So we're going to add in the butter, just like that. We're also going to add just an extra bit of butter. Look at this, guys. Can you all see that? I'm just going to wash my hands before I start using my hand to rub the butter in. Okay, and then we're just going to use our fingertips, rub all this in to form breadcrumbs. So I can see all your comments now. If you can hear that noise in the background, that's just the apples in the water because I want them to soften down first. So use your fingertips to create the until you get breadcrumbs. So the same here, we've got the sugar, the butter, the flour, and some lemon zest. Can you all see that okay, guys? Now this dough will actually have to go into the fridge, I think. Then we're going to add some egg as well to form the dough. The worst thing about when you're doing this is it really hurts your fingertips, doesn't it? But kind of make sure your butter is at room temperature because it does make it a little bit easier. That's winter for us, says Monica. Yeah. Well, that's winter for you. But yeah, that's... Oops. Breaking up this butter. So let me know what you're cooking today, if you're making anything nice. Oh, my fingers are aching already. I've got to make sure the butter is at a better consistency than it's still in cubes at the minute, which is why it's hurting my fingers. So I'm just breaking it up a bit. Let me know maybe where's the best apple pie you've ever eaten. Was it homemade or was it in a restaurant? So you remember, I'm only using 50 grams less flour. If this would normally be 400 grams. I just thought that's a bit too much for. So I cut it down by 50. I cut it down by 50 grams. So I'm using less butter as well. Which actually might make it a bit more stickier then, so it will come together a bit better. But we are going to use egg if it's a bit dry. I love apple pie, but it was my mum's favourite, and I love rhubarb crumble. Do you know, Melanie, that rhubarb crumble? Oh, I can't wait to make that again. It was so delicious. I've got some custard left in the cupboard. It's starting to come together now. So if you're just joining, well, try not to throw it over yourself. Look. If you're just joining, we're doing apple pie because it is apple pie day today. Today is apple pie day. It's also World Cocktail Day, believe it or not. So you could be making apple pie and you could be drinking a cocktail at the same time. Okay, the butter's starting to melt a little bit now, so it's just taking a little bit longer than normal. Hello, Daniel. Yeah, Daniel likes McDonald's apple pies. They have a really strange texture to them, though, the McDonald's ones, which I'm not a massive fan of. But I do like them occasionally, but they're so high in sugar. Obviously, the only sugar we've put in here so far is 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. The rest is the flour and the butter. And I think this is unsalted butter. I could be wrong though. This might taste like something else. I need to check. So it's coming together a little bit better now. But I think some of the best recipes you make by hand are sometimes the best. I'm sure you agree with me. Get all that flour from the bottom. Yeah, it's coming together now. Can you see that? Look. The Christmas ones are best. Do they do a Christmas apple pie? I never knew they did a Christmas one. What's that consist of then? Like raisins and nuts and things. Oh, my fingers. Yes, earlier on today, this was so nice. I've got some mint leaves. I broke the mint leaves up. Well, I chopped them up actually, and then I added them to hot water. I added some lemon juice and some honey, and I left it in for about 20 minutes, and it was such a nice drink. I'm going to have to show you how to make it. Well, it's simple to make, but just getting all this butter, rubbing it all in. It's coming together though. Just basically the same mixture making, your pastry, but with sugar. That's basically what I'm doing. It's starting to rain, guys, here. Hello, Anne. We're doing apple pie. It's apple pie day. Yeah, it's absolutely throwing it down again. Hopefully we won't get any more thunderstorms. You probably saw it on the news. It was really bad, that thunderstorm we had on Tuesday night. Okay. It's coming together now, guys. I'm glad I put the apples on there. So we're just rubbing in the butter and the margarine because I didn't have enough butter. I like my mixture quite thin, like that. Well, that sounds nice, Anne. Can you send me a slice, please? We need to do a cooking again. We've not done a cooking video for ages together. I really like the muffins. I like all the recipes, but I'm feeling a lot better than last couple of days. I've just felt so awful. Like, you probably noticed my words, my speech was all over the place, and I feel 10 times better because every time I would speak, like for a long time, I just got a real shooting pain in my head. Like, you know, when you have a headache, you just don't want to talk. So I was really slow in my words, like yesterday and this morning. But I feel so much better today. Okay, look at that, guys. That is what you want. Nice, perfect breadcrumbs. You don't want any flour underneath. Make sure it's all rubbed in. We were, weren't we? Yes, we should do that, definitely. I still got it on my... Every time I go live, the event that was set up for it comes up. But yeah, we need to do the shortbread, 100%. So I'm just making sure it's all rubbed in. There's a little bit more butter. We're getting there. I like to make sure there's no clumps or anything in there. Little tip for anybody who's never cooked before. Number one tip that I was always taught was, if there's butter clumps in the bowl, the best way to see if there is any in the bowl is to give your bowl a good shake. So just tap it, shake it, and it'll all come up to the top, just like that. So tap it and shake it. How was your walk, Anne, this morning? Okay, this is nearly done. I'm happy with that. So give it a shake. A few on the top, but we'll mix that in. Okay, so that's done. Let me just give my hands a quick wash. It looks nice and peaceful. It looks really nice and peaceful. Okay, so we've got our mixture. I'll just show you if you can't see. So remember, you would normally ask for 400 grams of flour. Instead, we're only using 350 grams. And it would ask for 250 grams of butter. Actually, you do need cold butter, not room temperature butter. Cold butter, so that was fine. But we only used about 200. Well, I only had 150, so I added an extra tablespoon of margarine in there. So that's our mixture, guys. What we're going to now do is we're going to add in a beaten egg. So we're going to take an egg. We're just going to beat it up. I've got my jug. And then we're going to add this to the mixture. How's the connection, guys? Can you all just let me know how the connection is? I'm just going to beat an egg up. Let's give this a whisk. Yes, yes, there is 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. Hello, if you just joined, you're welcome to my broadcast. We're doing apple pie because it's apple pie day. So the apples are chopped up, they're all boiling away in the saucepan. So we're going to add in the beaten egg and stir with a round bladed knife until the mixture forms a dough. So round bladed basically is a palette knife. So we're going to start to add this in. So gradually. I can just add it all in actually if you wanted to. Let's get it all in. We're just going to go around this until it starts to form a dough. Might need to add some more in here. But when I was making the pastry for do you remember the pies that I made? We actually only used a very small amount of water, do you remember? So I think that is enough. But I think there was less flour. But remember, if you're using more butter with flour, it will naturally form anyway on its own. So probably going to need more than this. Mine's only a medium-sized egg, so it's definitely going to need a little bit more. Use your hands to combine the dough. Yeah, it's definitely not going to stick. Definitely needs a bit more. Am I still on Weight Watchers? That finished last year. I was going to say that did finish at the end of April. So that's probably why you're wondering why I'm doing all these different recipes and things. I'm going to add a little bit of water. Actually, I've got a bit more egg actually to put in. So yeah, that finished at the end of April. But I got to the ideal weight that I wanted to be at within 3 months, which I was happy about. So I might have to add some water to this. Squeeze it together. It's forming. It is forming. I love the tips. Yeah, it's coming up actually. That's probably where I've been going wrong all this time. Yeah, it's working now. It's cleaning the bowl. It's still breaking up a little bit though. Do a thing. If you still think it's a bit crumbly, add a bit of water. You might be able to. Might add a little bit. Well, some of it's gone. If I do it in the, I think that will, like 3/4 of it goes on as the base, and the rest goes on the top. So I might be able to get away with that. It's not sticking very well. Here it's raining. That's the apples. That's the apples. Yeah, this part's breaking up. Come on. We'll use that as the top. Okay, so that's the dough. I didn't need to add any water. Okay, perfect. So we've got two there. So one will be the base, and then the other one's going to be the topping. So okay. I'll show you the apples. Here's the apples. So just let them, they're just in some water, softening down. Okay, so next step then. So it says set aside 1/3 of the pastry for the lid and roll out the remaining pastry on a lightly floured surface until the thickness of a pound coin, 5 to 7 centimeters, is larger than the pie dish. Lift the pastry over the rolling pie and lower it gently into the pie dish. So 1/3 for the lid. Yep, and then the 2/3 are for the actual pie. So let me grab a pie dish. Okay, we'll do it in this. So this is my pie dish. Yes, I put them in water, yeah. So most times you would do them in the oven, but mine were quite large apples. So I'm just going to put that to one side. So this is the main filling. Making a mess everywhere. That's the only problem, isn't it? With okay, so set aside. Roll out the remaining pastry on a lightly floured surface. So let's get some flour. Some flour on the board. Just like that. Try not to get flour everywhere, because it's always a horrible time when you've got to clean up. I need a bit more flour actually. Okay, so here's our, this is going to be the base. So we're going to roll it out. Sometimes you put it in the fridge. I know. I think whenever you ask somebody if they've never cooked before, what they would love to learn, it's always pastry, because pastry is always the worst thing to do. Even if you cook all the time, the worst thing is the pastry. So I think this dish is going to be all right. So I'll just pop that over the top. Yeah, that's looking good. So it wants to be about 1 centimetre thick. I'm not going to bother turning it around, and I'm not bothered if it actually falls apart. So what I am slightly worried now is getting this into the dish. Oh, actually, yeah. So you take your rolling pin, guys, and you just lift it up. So hopefully it won't break. Okay, mine's starting to break up. So I'll be very, very quick with it. And then hopefully you can see this. Just going to let this fall. Oh no, it's broken up. Probably should have rolled this out a bit more. Doesn't matter though, because it's going to be covered over. You can always just add little bits to it. So it's not the best. So put the dish on the top. Yeah, we did that. It's not the best, but I'm not bothered, because I'd prefer to have a thicker base and a thinner top. It's got to be the worst one I've probably ever made, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We've got the lid that's going to go on the top, so I should re-roll that out, shouldn't I? It's not what it looks like. It's about the taste. So I'm not taking it out, guys, but I am sealing it up. It doesn't matter. If I'd left that in the fridge, say I'd rolled that up, put that in the fridge, I would have been able to roll it out a lot thinner. But because I'm doing it really quickly, then that's what is going to be the base. Okay, we've still got the lid to go on the top anyway, so you're not going to even see that. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side. So what we're going to do now then is we're going to do the filling. Well, we should put the oven on, shouldn't we, first of all? Oven needs to be nice and hot. So what we're going to do next is, well, it says press the pastry firmly into the dish and up the sides, making sure there's no air bubbles. Oh, it says put it in the fridge. So yeah, you can put that in the fridge actually. So you can put that in the fridge, so it'll chill. I think that's really if it's too thin or not, but actually that's not too bad. I don't need to put it in the fridge. So we're going to do the filling. Mix the sugar. So for the filling you want 5 ounces of golden caster sugar. Okay. So let me get my scales back out. Yeah, so this is where we're going to add more sugar. This is where if you're on a diet, you don't always need to add any extra sugar. So I'm going to go off ounces for a change. I'll just change my unit. You want 5 ounces of sugar. That's a lot of sugar. Definitely on ounces. Maybe what ounces invented so that you feel like you're having less of something. There we go, 5 ounces of sugar. That's a lot of sugar. Okay, I'm just checking. So we're going to mix the sugar, the cinnamon, and corn flour. So you want some corn flour. 2 tablespoons of corn flour. We're mixing this into a bowl. Yeah, into a bowl. So we can bring our bowl back out actually. I'm going to add that to the bowl. So we've got the sugar. Yeah, I'm certain that's right. So we've got the sugar in there. We're going to add some cinnamon and some corn flour. So this is corn flour. So we want 2 tablespoons, was it? Yeah, 2 tablespoons of corn flour. So that's 1. That's 2. Put that away. I'm going to add some cinnamon. Let me find my cinnamon. Ground cinnamon, yeah. And we need 1 tablespoon. Oh no, 1 second. Yeah, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. That'll do. You'll see that, guys? Hello, Sarah. And then we're going to add in the apples. So these apples should have been softened now. So let me. I've lost everything in this kitchen. Oh, there it is. Just going to get rid of the water out of the apples. We're going to mash the apples up. So here's our apples. So I'm just going to mash these up. Oh, this looks good. Just going to mash them up, or you can add them in whole if you want to, because they're nice and soft. These are hot. We're going to add all the apples in. Oh, this smells really good. And we just mix it all together. Yeah, mix it all together, stir in the apples. So we've got the corn flour, the sugar, and the apples all in here. Oh, this looks good, and the cinnamon as well. Hello, Cheryl. Happy apple pie day. So this is our mixture. So maybe add some more. It is very hot. Maybe you should wait till the apples cool down a bit, but it doesn't matter. It caramelizes the sugar and the cinnamon as well. So this is our mixture, guys. So let me put that to one side. Take our mixture again. So we're going to place the apple filling into the pie dish, making sure it rises above the edges. Brush the rims of the dish with the beaten egg. So if you've got any more egg, so let's add this in. I don't know if you can see that all right, guys. We're doing apple pie. So let's put all this mixture in. Oh, this looks good. This is a different way of doing it. Okay, just like that. And then what we're going to do now is roll out the pastry, the rest of the pastry that we've got. A bit more flour on the board. And we're going to roll this out. You want to see the state of this kitchen. I'm going to be on in another 2 hours. Doing the... Oh no, this is broken up now. No. Doesn't matter though. Whoops. So I'm just going to roll this out. If I'd left this in the fridge, I should have put this one in the fridge. Doesn't matter though. So we're going to roll this out. It doesn't matter. As I say, it's what it tastes like, not how it looks. It's all sticking. Nice thin top. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. Just bring this round. Can you all see this? You can't see what I'm doing, can you? I'm just going to place this on the top. This is going to break up. Oh yes, look at this. So this is apple pie. Just pop it on there, just like that. Kind of seal it up. And then we'll go around the ends. You can even make little shapes and pop them on the top if you want to. Okay, gonna go around the edges. It's quite thick. Just pop these on there. Because when it bakes, it will just look amazing. Kind of just go around the edges if you want to with a fork. Seal it up. I think sometimes you put like holes in it as well. Helps it. This looks really good. Look at this apple pie, guys. I'm just going to get a fork. Go around it. It's not the best in the world, but at least we've managed to make it. We'll put some egg on here as well. What do we think, everyone? What do we think? There we go. That's our apple pie. So we're going to pop some egg. Get another little beaten egg if you want to. And wherever I put that, here it is. And then we're just going to glaze it on the top. So I think what's probably best is, I won't stay on now, but I will show you how it looks at 5 o'clock. So at 5 o'clock you'll have to come live, watch me, and I'll show you how it turns out, because it's going to have to cool down anyway. So I'm a hero for trying. I am. Where's the whisk gone now? So it's also got lemon zest in, don't forget. I've lost. There it is. And we're just going to get a brush. Where's my brush gone now? I found it. Like in Aladdin's cave. Oh, more like the TARDIS. So we're just going to glaze this now. Just go around the edges. And this will just stop it from burning. Just do it all over. Don't want too much. I do this with any pies that I make. I always glaze it with egg. And also about halfway through, I also give it an extra glaze because it makes it really shiny on the top. The holes are how to vent the pastry. Yeah, I'll put a few holes in as well. So any pies you make, whether it's beef and ale pie, steak pie, any pies you make, obviously this is a sweetened pastry that we're doing, always glaze it with egg. Okay. So yeah, we're just going to make a few little holes. Let's use a knife so I don't damage it too much. Just get where's my little knife from? Must have another knife somewhere. There it is. I need to give this a clean. So yeah, just put some holes in. Not too many. And then it's going to go in the oven now. So it needs to go in the oven for make a few small holes in the centre of the pie, glaze the top with beaten egg, lightly knead the pastry trimmings and re-roll, cut into leaf shapes. And it wants to go in the. I'll sprinkle the pie with some sugar. So I'm going to put a little bit more sugar on the top. I'll just sprinkle some sugar on there as well. Oh, look at that, guys. You'll see it. This is going to be delicious. And it wants to go in for 45 minutes in the centre of the oven. So I'm going to end the broadcast, guys. Bring you forward a bit. So I'm going to pop this in the oven. I shall come back about 5 p.m. in 2 hours' time, and I'll show you how it turns out. And we'll actually be able to show you live eating it as well, because it'll be cool. It'll have cooled down by then. So only thing I've not put on there is some leaves, like little leaves. But I don't have any more pastry. So centre of the shelf. I'm going to put it in right now, guys. So I shall see you later tonight, 5 p.m. We'll show you how it turns out. Okay. Get rid of this out of the oven as well from the other day. So, thank you all for watching, guys. I shall see you soon. See you at 5 p.m.